I am an artist by trade, and I've always seen programming as this giant, unattainable beast that was beyond my reach. But when I started getting serious about game development, I realized that to do the things that I've always wanted, I would have to tackle this behemoth with the same ambition that I have tackled art in my life. Hello, my name is Virtual Rook, and I am a game developer. To start off, it was scary. I spent weeks doing courses and practicing on simple projects, and I started to feel confident in what I could make. Programming for VR was suddenly becoming something I could do, and it was addicting. I've always been obsessed with the idea of a world governed by the laws of magic, and what someone like me would do in that sort of world. I think that if you could learn to cast magic, why wouldn't you spend every single day honing that skill? If you could create something out of nothing, why wouldn't you put your all into becoming as powerful as you possibly could? And that's how I view programming for games now. You have an unspeakable language you must study and master, but if you can create worlds. Think of that. Worlds, forged at your fingertips, and making things in VR only made that more obvious. I could create living, breathing worlds and then be part of them. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I started by creating a bow and arrow game in the course of a month, and I was feeling pretty good about what I had learned. I have a system for how I learn new things. I start by obviously not knowing anything, ooh, big surprise there, and then I study as much as I can with tutorials and documentation. Once I feel pretty good about what I know, I build something with it. This part can be very difficult to get through, because you still have to supplement what you don't know with more studying. But once I had something working, in this case the bow and arrow minigame, it was time to take that information and try to teach it to others, which is why I made the How to Make a Bow and Arrow game in Godot XR. I think this last stage is the most crucial, because if you could teach somebody else how to do something, that means that you yourself have mastered it, and I felt like I had. I was feeling like I was on top of the world, like this behemoth called programming was finally destroyed, and now I could push myself further into game design and art. So I thought that it was finally time to take the next step and join the Godot XR Game Jam, which was in February on the 14th, I think is when it started. I was feeling powerful enough to create something with a deadline, with a story, and with gameplay I could be proud of. The Game Jam began, and we got our theme, enchanting. So I went to my community for ideas. My community is awesome. And if you aren't already part of it, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button down below. And maybe come and join the Discord, so that way you can also show us the cool things that you're creating. Because I think that's the best part about game design, is we get to just experience it together. But anyway, I talked to my community and had them come up with the game idea. It was going to be a top-down VR platformer game, kind of like Moss, where you are a dragon trying to save a princess from an evil prince who stole her away. No problem, I thought. The player will be sitting, so we only have to handle the head movement, and then the controls for the character itself was all going to be traditional third-person platformer controls, so I really thought I had this in the bag. So we chose our title, story, and gameplay on day one. I built out our ref board and worked on drawing out a rough idea of what the game would look like when you were playing. I then started grayboxing the main dungeon you'd be sitting in while you helped your tiny player navigate the main map. And that wrapped up day one. I was feeling really good about how much I got done. Day two, I built out the code that would let the player control our third-person controller, as well as made a new project on the site Hack and Plan, as well as created our main character in Blender 3D, Aurora. She's adorable, isn't she? I love her. She's so great. It all seemed to be going great, but like so many bosses in video games, the behemoth that was programming had a phase 2. And I was about to be humbled in how little I truly understood and how much of a fight was ahead of me. That's gonna do it though for this episode, so come back for episode 2. And thank you so much to my Ko-fi supporters, Starry-Eyed Prince, Ethereal Vega, as well as Stillry. Your continued support really means the world to me. And if you want to help out the channel too, and also get to see some cool extra content that I post exclusively for Ko-fi members, please consider going down below in the description and joining my Ko-fi. It's only $3 a month. That's like nothing. That's not even, like, you can't even get a chicken sandwich for that. And like, I'd buy all the chicken sandwiches if I could. But thank you so much for being here and watching, and I can't wait to talk to you more about the progress of this game in episode 2. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.